Let me say thank you guys for being here. I don't see a lot of folks in the front row, so I'm going to ask where all the Christians at. You guys all in the back, so it's all sinners in the back. I got one gentleman right here in the front, so he get a direct path to the pearly gates. Just a little humor. But certainly I want to thank you guys for joining us. I'm going to be engaging in this presentation and hope that you guys will participate and play along with me as we talk about the things we want to do to make your unit, but also the workplace here at Baton Rouge Community College are exceptional. First, we want to thank all of our steering committee members and the supports our staff who's supporting this event, being the greeters and making sure you guys get here and those sort of things. I want to thank you for that. I also want to remind all of you to sign in. I want to make sure we know who's here and who's accountable for the day. So thank you for doing that. So let's get in it. The why. You know, I got to Baton Rouge Community College about going into my fourth year 3 years ago, and I asked the question, many of you guys, would you send your son or your daughter or your family member to Baton Rouge Community College? And as I still remember that day, it was dead silence. But certainly, we want to be intentional about the work we do to improve BRCC as a great place to work and learn, but also a great workplace in your unit, but also for you guys to enjoy coming to work. And so that question pretty much has changed now. What I want to measure is that you guys really enjoy coming to work and what we can do to make your experience here at work better. I know that we have a lot of issues. I know we got a lot of problems at home and our personal lives, even at work sometimes, but we need to know. I need to be engaged on how I can make your job maybe a little bit easier, but even at that, to make your workplace more safer, more conducive for excellence, but also conducive for you guys to have opportunity to be included in some of the decisions that we make to better serve our students and our community. And so intentionality to our why is we want to cultivate a work environment where employees are valued, engaged, and empowered. Okay? Where employees are valued, engaged, and empowered to lead the way for making a difference for student success and for achieving BRCC distinction. Now, as you thrust upon the 3 or 4 years that I have been here, the great work that you guys continue to do. If you haven't heard, we got record enrollment the last 2 semesters. We have been trending in the right direction for student retention and student success. Financially, this college is in the healthiest spot as it ever been in the history of this college. That's not because of me, folks. That's because of you guys, the work that you do and the work that you put in supporting student success. And I just want to say thank you guys for that. But there are some distinctions that we want to make going forward of why BRCC is a great place to work. You see those surveys around the country. My predecessor, a friend of mine, SLCC, Dr. June, he often brag about SLCC being the best community college in the state. I told him he's not the best community college in the state, Baton Rouge Community College. We haven't got that accolade, but I know that we are, and it shows in the growth that we have had exponentially since my arrival. And so we want to be intentional on how we move forward about our workplace. And that survey is going to be very, very crucial of what you guys do between this point and now on the action plan and things that we're going to talk about in this presentation of how we move forward. Many of you received a copy of our strategic plan, 2023 to 2028, BRCC strategic plan. You're probably familiar with our mission. You're probably not so much familiar with the value proposition. I didn't explain this good yesterday, but the value proposition to me is different. It's similar to a business. I know we are an education institution, but we are somewhat a business. And what I mean by that is we have a value proposition. There are reasons why employers hire graduates. There are reasons why we have exponentially so many new partnerships who are supporting our success. And when you have a value proposition, we need to be respected, and we need to be mutual as you would be an employer or organization, a business organization, to make sure that people know that Baton Rouge Community College provides value back to this community and back to this state, right? And so I don't talk about the values a lot. I only talk about the value proposition because I think you garner your respect about the work that we do and the product that we put out, and you guys have done a tremendous job there. But there are 4 pillars as part of the strategic plan: student success, employee success, financial operational sustainability, and quality communication. These were the pillars around the survey that you guys took some time ago, and the results we're going to talk about in a few minutes on things we have done well and things we need to improve upon as we go forward, okay? Why this survey? Why the rollout? I'm sorry. Why this rollout that connects to BRCC value? So the first bullet is self-explanatory. People's experience are real. This is your experience. That survey, for those who took the survey, you had the opportunity to express your experience, real experience, confidentially, about things that goes on in your work unit, but also things go on in the college. Some things that you liked about the college, some things you dissatisfied about the college. So these was actually your personal, professional experience and real experience, right? And this talks about part of our values, inclusivity. And going forward at this college, I want to make sure that everything that we do is included on the opinions and ideas that many of you have. I don't have them all. My executive team does not have them all. I want to make sure that you guys have a voice at the table to make sure that how we improve BRCC workplace is ultimately going to be not on me, but on the work that we do together, but on the ideas that we all share, okay? We embed feedback and improvement in culture. So you get a chance to embed the feedback and improving the culture here. And that translates into our distinctiveness, inspiration, and trust. Connect strategic plan and scorecard, innovation. This is going to be innovation because all of the goals and part of the strategic plan is going to tie back to through a strategic plan. It's going to tie back to our strategic plan on how we make sure that we have a scorecard that's going to balance our plan, but also the work that we do. We want to measure how we say we're going to improve our workplace, how we're going to improve our unit, and how we're going to improve our community, how we're going to improve student success, employee success, financial and operational sustainability, as well as communication. We need to have a scorecard that we can measure and score ourselves that we actually improve upon what we said we're going to do. It informs actions, align goals, behaviors, and processes. This is accountability. While you hold me accountable being your chancellor, I'm going to directly, and the team, your leaders, are going to hold you accountable for participating in the improvement plan that we can have a scorecard, but we can have a goal and objective of how we improve processes here, behaviors, and align those goals with things that we want to see that's going to distinguish us from other colleges and other institutions. And finally, roll out engaging leaders and teams in improvement conversation that express all our BRCC values, all right? So now we should have conversation across our team, across this college, how we improve the institution, with your leaders, with your colleagues, with myself, but also with each other on how we're going to have improved this college. So those should be ongoing conversations throughout the year, throughout the time frame of us developing a plan of action that we can score and measure our success around this survey. What are we intending to accomplish? I said this earlier, we want to create a workplace where all employees have a deep connection to their work. And I literally mean that. We want to make sure we have an inclusive culture where everybody has a deeper connection to the work that they do that is fulfilling. When you answer those surveys, I imagine that some of you who may have been dissatisfied, there may have been a disconnection, and there may not have been a deeper connection. We want to know what those are. We want to make sure that we improve upon those experiences that many of you have basically expressed in the survey that we need to get better on. Things that we got well on, we want to continue to do that. And you're going to see this as we talk a little bit more in the survey. So I hope that we establish and we accomplish a deeper connection that motivates us to drive the work that we do to a deeper level to continue to support student and institutional success. So if you will, now you got a chance to participate in a QR scan here. So if you would, take your phones out and scan that QR code. And this QR code is to talk about BRCC leaders, what we need to do to create a workplace where all employees are deeply connected to their work. This is going to give us real-time feedback on what you think those things are that we need to do to create that workplace for a deeper connection. I see you guys typing. I see transparent and caring candor. Okay. Increased compensation. No silos. Communication. Clearly defined job description. Listen, include relevant person in need of conversation before making a decision. Increase autonomy, listen to employee, trust, value, equality, respect, increase communication, alignment and continued transparency. Give us more freedom with office hour format. Spread work evenly across faculty. Support professional development. Communicate and clear expectations. Communicate with others as one unit, not their own personal kingdoms. Supply resources for instructors. Clear processing. You can see, so the common thing that I see here is we got a lot of folks who are talking about communication, which is one of our pillars. Transparency is a second. How we be transparent in the work that we say we're going to do. And so these are things that you're going to engage with in your own respective unit to talk about your division, your unit, how you want to move your unit forward, that the basis of the things you're saying to help your leader create that workplace for you. So I appreciate you guys sharing that. So the employee engagement experience survey results, as I mentioned earlier on, these 4 pillars are part of our strategic plan. Student success, employee success, financial, operational, and sustainability, and quality communication. Employee experience and engagement survey was administered to all full-time BRCC employees. So some employees, some of you may be here today who did not take that survey. That do not excuse you on the work that we need to do in our unit to make BRCC a great place to learn. So I imagine if you haven't taken that survey, that when you're talking to your leaders, when they roll those survey results out to each of your unit, you would engage some things that are important to you, right, in that discussion. You would roll out a plan from there. All ratings on a scale from 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest. So we was rated from 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest. Results, reports by leader level. Overall division, executive leader, the director, the dean, associate vice chancellor, the CIO, chief information officer, the immediate supervisor. Result, report analysis, frequency, distribution of responses, an item mean, an item top box, and an overall mean. You'll see that in a moment. The result, rollout expectation. Leader receiving a report will review results and dialogue with employees. So every leader in every unit is going to receive this report, and they're going to talk about the survey, and we got the consultant here, Julie will speak a little later, from Huron Student Education, that they will get those results, and they will have a dialogue with you on action plans, things that you think that is working, things that you think is not working, and we can develop an action plan, what we need to do to get there. Create the action plan to improve, as I just mentioned, 1 or 2 items, and move input into actions, all right? So while you're going to create these plans, we're going to engage and start creating those inputs into actions, how we actually do the work. Participation by units. So academic affairs and workforce had a 57% participation rate. Student affairs, 57.6% participation rate. Athletics, 33.3% participation rate. Finance and administration, 87.1% participation rate. Institutional advancement and institutional effectiveness, they're a smaller division, were lumped together, but they had a participation rate, 81.8%. And the chancellor office and executive leaders had a participation rate for 100%. I wonder why I got 100%. And you guys did. So overall, our total participation rate for the survey was 64%. Not good, folks. We should at least be above 75%, and we're going to do better. This is the things is serious to me, and so we need to make sure that when we roll our survey, that everybody had a chance to participate. Because I guarantee you there are going to be some of you that I'm going to meet in the hall or getting coffee or at a restaurant or in a seminar that we have, going to say, well, I didn't take the survey, but here's my thoughts and ideas. I need to capture that data in real time. So we need to make sure when we do the post-survey that we have 100%, close to 100% participation rate. The summer results, well, our 2020 overall summer results, overall mean and employee net promoter score. So our overall mean was 3.76. And remember I told you the rating was from 1 to 5. So we had 3.76. I have any math majors in here? What do you think 3.76 represent? What letter grade? Yeah, C. Yeah. Mary, Dr. Miller, as you say plus? C plus? Or, yeah, That's the good nature of your heart. It's a C. We're at a C, so we could do better on our survey and overall mean score, but the overall mean score is a reflection on what you guys thought as pertaining to the work environment, the culture here, but certainly your work unit. And right now, you grade us as a C. We want to do better, certainly, and we're going to measure that over time. So this is our mean score, 3.76. What is an employee net promoter score? Some of you may ask. So the employee net promoter score rating range from 100, negative 100, which is the lowest, which everyone is a detractor, to plus 100, highest, everyone is a promoter. So the detractors was the folks from 0 to 6, we'll show you the scale in a minute, who was unhappy or dissatisfied. The passive ones are the ones who rated 7 to 8, who were satisfied for now or on the fence. And the promoters, those who promoted the college, was 9 to 10. They was engaged, they was loyal, they was enthusiastic. Okay? And so here's the data. The employee net promoter score for the immediate work environment or at the unit level is 8.15. The percentage of promoter participating in selecting 9 to 10 was 39%. The percentage of passive, participants seeking selecting 7 to 8. Remember, those are the folks who was satisfied for now but on the fence was 29, almost 30%. And the percentage of detractors, participants selecting 0 to 6, you was unhappy or dissatisfied, was 30.9, almost 31%. So we got a third of folks here who are very enthusiastic and engaged. We got a third of folks here who are on the fence with one leg across for either side. And we got a third of folks here who just say they're unhappy or dissatisfied. So this is a good measurement for us. So it's going to tell us we got a third of folks here that we need to do some things different to get them to be satisfied with the work that we're doing from the workplace standpoint, from the unit standpoint. And we got a third of folks who are actually on the fence, who have not decided if they want to be all in, to be engaged and enthusiastic. And we can measure that. We can measure by the work plan that you guys are going to develop, the work that we do from the executive level, the work that I do for communicating the strategy going forward. We want to measure it over time to see that we move those individuals up. And I imagine that's a range of questions of why folks are dissatisfied, why folks are on the fence, and why folks are enthusiastic. The second is willingness to recommend BRCC as a good place to work. The organizational overall employee net promoter score was a negative 0.55. And you can see the correlation here. We still have a third all the way down those buckets. We have a third of the promoters selected 9 and 10 that BRCC is a good place to work. We have a third who are still passive, who are on the fence, who for now are satisfied. And we also have a third, which is more than the promoters, who are unhappy or dissatisfied at BRCC being a good place to work. Folks, we need to learn what that is, what that means to every group level. We need to understand what that looks like. But given that, we need to make sure that we develop a plan of action, how we correct that, or how we make sure that if I'm going to be talking about BRCC in the community, a great place to work and learn, I got to make sure that people at home, you yourself believe that, and you're expressing that. And right now it's telling me that it's something that we're not doing collectively, and if you want to blame me, I'll take it, I'm the chancellor, that you're unhappy, you're dissatisfied with, or you're on the fence that you're not sure about. Maybe I wasn't clear, or maybe the strategic direction wasn't clear, or you're dissatisfied about the way I look. I need to know that too, right? That's a joke. But really, I need to know what we're dissatisfied or unhappy about so we can make sure that we're going to engage your work experience. Now, I'm smart enough and certainly naive enough. There are going to be some folks I'm never going to make happy. That's just human life, right? But I hope that I can make your work environment as best as it can be when you come to work, that you're in a safe space, that you engage, and you have an opportunity to be inclusive in the decision that we make, whether you choose to or not. Is that fair? All right. Get the survey after that. Survey after that, after this, we move that one out of there? Okay. So the item with the highest means that we have, so we have a 4.70. I believe the work I do is meaningful. I believe my work positively impacts the success of our students, faculty, and staff. I feel personally driven to help my institution succeed. I'm excited about the work I do at my institution. I understand how my work impacts the success of my institution in achieving its goals. I see a clear connection between my institution's mission and my job. I have a clear understanding of my expectation as an employee. I feel my institution's vision, goals inspire me to do my best work. I feel like I belong at my institution. I feel that my institution embraces diversity in the workplace. So I imagine those high numbers came from the promoters as well as some of the ones who were passive, who was on the fence. They were satisfied for now. But I'm not sure on what the detractors is in the data, which we need to find out. Given this, I believe the work I do is meaningful, as an example. I need to know from the detractors, what are you unsatisfied about or what are you unhappy about that, your work? We need to understand that, right? So now, I ask you to take your phone out again for this barcode or QR code. When your supervisor does well, communicates expectations to employees, what does that look like? So if you got a leader or supervisor who does well and communicate expectations, what does that look like to you? What is your supervisor doing? Yeah, they survey everyone, but it is broken out for different units. Yes, yes. Yeah, every unit has a survey score, yes. Great question. So the first thing I have about the leaders doing well, listening, not talking. I guess that's me. State the expectation clearly with no hidden stuff. Announces in meetings. Supporting new ideas. Great. Does not micromanage. Communicates and share relevant information. Somebody said don't hear from them. So they doing well by not? Sets clear expectation. Works part of a team. My supervisor conveys that during the staff meeting. Having a clear list of values that are repeated. Mentor, support, great. Setting standards, provide regular email updates. Clearly state expectations. Harmony is productive. So the two identifiers that I have is that your supervisor is doing well is meetings and expectations. Communication is a far third. Interesting. Trust me to do my job. Two-way communication. Meeting expectations, clearly communicating and setting goals. I have a really good supervisor team. Sends out well-written emails and replies quickly to all inquiries. Great. Not micromanaging. That's the second time I saw that one. Transparency and professionalism. So great. So these are going to be some of your expectations that you're going to be required to talk to with your supervisor on things that they may have done well, but maybe can improve upon when you start working on your plan. Items with the lowest means. I feel my institution inspires the very best in me when it comes to job performance. This is 3.54, so right in the middle of a C, C minus, right, if you want to say that, Dr. Miller. I feel supported with the appropriate resources to complete my work. I believe that others are genuinely concerned for my welfare at my institution. I receive feedback on my strengths. I'm provided with adequate opportunity for advancement. I receive appropriate recognition when I do good work. I feel that my institution has created an equitable process to ensure that promotions go to qualified internal candidates. I believe my opinions and perspectives are represented in decisions made. I have a clear understanding as to why decisions are made. I feel that I'm informed on changes occurring at my institution. These were some of the lowest mean. Items with the lowest mean are 5 that are communication. And the first one was I received feedback on my strengths. So that's one of the lowest one as pertains to communication. And remember, communication is one of our pillars, our 4 pillars that we need to work on here as a college for strategic planning. I received feedback on my strengths, so we need to do a better job of making sure not only you're getting the feedback on the things you're not doing well or you're weak at, but also your strength. I think that's fair. I receive appropriate recognition when I do good work. Another one that I think we need to do a great job, and I need to do a better job there. Too often that we may award someone with a teacher award, and there are still folks who are doing outstanding work that not that you need a pat on the back, that you at least recognize for the work that we do. So we need to have a comprehensive plan and strategy around that. I agree. I believe my opinion and perspectives are represented in decision made. This is the reason of the rollout of the survey. This is the reason of bringing in Julie and Huron student education. So you had the opportunity to be a part of this decision making. You could be inclusive in the decision making. And I'm going to say that I have been a chancellor here at this college to talk about inclusiveness from the day I arrived, about everybody being part of the strategy to make BRCC. I've talked to many individuals. Many of you have sent me emails. Many of you have came by my office to talk about ideas. While we may not have taken many of your ideas, we have taken some, but maybe not many, but we value that. I value that. And so I believe the opinions and perspectives are reported or represented decision made. Going forward, you will see that. I have a clear understanding as to why my decisions are made, why decisions are made. I'm looking forward to seeing that one because now you're going to see why decisions are made and you're going to understand that. Can I do a better job for my level or why a decision is made, right? Or we agree to disagree, but respectfully, we have to make a decision, right? And so we want to make sure we improve upon that, which is part of the communication that I can do from my office as well as your leaders. I feel that I'm informed on changes occurring at my institution. This is one of the lowest ones, and this is the one I totally agree with. I've often talked to my leadership team and folks at our college that we have not done a great job of all the changes that we have made at the institution, so everyone is aware. I dare say that many of you have not even inquired about those changes only when an issue presents itself. Is that fair? Is that fair? I admit, I got flaws here that I haven't communicated well the changes that we have made. I admit that. But equally and likewise, we're going to have a plan that holds some accountability for all of us to be thrust in making sure we're rolling in the right direction in order to have an improvement plan that we all need to develop on. And so you will be aware of all the changes that are being made. Here's an opportunity for us to improve upon that, and that was one of the lowest items that we scored here. And I recognized that early on when I talked with Julie and the consultant. Right? We set that as part of the strategic plan for a reason. We must do better in our communication strategy to you. Because if you're going to work, you're seeing what is happening only from the news, and you get it secondhand, it's not right. You need to know everything that goes on in the Baton Rouge Community College. Okay? So with those 5 communication items, you have opportunity now to do another QR scan. In your opinion, what does a 5-star communication look like here at Baton Rouge Community College? Listening to understand, not to respond. Teamwork, face-to-face. Transparency and inclusion with decision making. Transparency across the board. Sending out mass communication. Listen, don't justify. True transparency. Timely feedback. Transparency, active listening. Listen to understand. Listening. Input to the administration is taken seriously. Consistent and open. Adding value. Take responsibility. Transparency. Always frequent. Honesty, listen, two-way conversation, in person, face-to-face, via email, text, active listening, accountability by leadership. Each member has an opportunity to voice their opinion, have an opportunity to express concerns about the way college policies impact our teaching. Great. So again, you can see I'm doing this in real time, but this is basically what it's going to look like when you guys meet with your unit leaders to talk about your improvement plan. And I hope that all of you are going to engage in that. And I'm going to strongly encourage everyone need to be engaged in this. No matter if you are one of the ones who are detractor, where you're unhappy or dissatisfied, no matter you're passive, on the fence for now, not sure, or you're a promoter, that you're enthusiastic or you're engaged, in order for this to work, everyone has to participate. I'm going to repeat this again, folks, for the 3rd time. In order for this to work, everyone has to participate. You have an opportunity to participate. Because what we will not do at BRCC is, for those who don't participate, and you want to be the Monday morning quarterback, but you did not express yourself in no division meeting, it won't be intolerant. I would not tolerate it, personally, because I'm giving you an opportunity now to improve the work culture here in the workplace at BRCC, respectfully. You have opportunity to engage some things that you probably didn't think that you can share. I'm going to ask you to be vulnerable, because I'm not sending one in the home for you telling your supervisor about a leader about something that you think is not best for our workplace, or an idea or a solution or a strategy. Positive speaking. I'm not asking you to get rough and demeaning, but I'm asking you to challenge the leaders to be better, to make sure they understand what is affecting you to be successful in the workplace. It's going to require courage. It's going to be different. The last folks who talked about this, some folks had intimidation or retribution. Won't be tolerated here. I ask that if you feel that way, you need to meet with me after this presentation. You need to email me, come and see me, talk to HR, whatever you think is comfortable for you, because that would not be tolerated. In order for this to work, everybody had to be accountable and engaged, and you have to be able to speak truth to facts, whether we like it or not. I think I got the thickest skin here. I have no personal vendetta against anyone, and I'm asking the leaders to do the same when I communicate back to them, and as well as our consultant. Because if we want to make this a great place to work, you need to be open and freely about criticism and critique. That could be negative, but certainly in a positive manner how we do it, right? And so we have to be engaged in this, and we ask you guys to be yourself. And people are afraid to ask. I'm asking you not to be afraid, and I'm asking you to trust me as the chancellor of Baton Rouge Community College, all right? The overall feedback that you guys provide helps us have conversations about how we improve our practices. What have we learned? Did the feedback uncover any blind spots? That may be things your leaders or your unit leaders don't even know that you're suffering with or you're dealing with that's in the workplace or not being tuned with. We need to know that. That unit leader need to know that. And oh, by the way, I'm going to see all the plans, guys, so there won't be any excuses for us not to take what you guys say seriously, but also I demand that we're making sure we uncover those blind spots that you may have, right? And next, what is the next right thing to do? How will we define success if we improve the item of result? We need to measure that. And so in your unit plan, you're going to define what success should look like. We're going to talk about that. And if that requires us changing our strategic action plan, we're going to change it, certainly in communication. Because we're here to measure, again, on how we make this environment excellent, but also how we make it inclusive, but how we make it a better workplace for you. Certainly your work environment, your unit. I did not say this, but if you saw in the data on the previous slides, can I go back? I'm going to share with you a real quick correlation. On the willingness to recommend your work environment, okay? The willingness to recommend your work environment as a good place to work. And if you see the one from the unit to the one to recommend BRCC as a good place to work, what is the gap? So some of you enjoy working in your unit, but you still don't think the college is a good place to work. We need to figure that out. What are your unit doing well that probably can help other units or help me help this college, right? This is what the thing in the data is going to allow us to look at and to realize, folks, and how we make this college better for everyone. Whether your unit got great ideas, your unit have opportunity to lead something intuitive or innovativeness that's going to support the college, this is what we want to look for in the data. You know, too often we talk about rhetoric. Some folks will say, well, this has happened, but there's no data to prove that. This is what the data is showing from the survey that you guys engaged in. And so we need to read between that. What are you saying? My unit's doing a great job, but I still don't rate BRCC as a great place to work. We need to find out why. All right, so the next steps and timeline proposed. So today and yesterday, results rolled out to the executive team and the steering team. All leaders with 5 or more responses will receive a unit level report. So today, you guys are going to meet for your leaders who have 5 or more in your areas. You're going to meet with Julie and Dr. Jones to talk about the rollout, the survey response and the rollout, okay? We had a town hall yesterday and today. Leaders attend in-person results rollout training for 45 minutes to 1 hour today, yesterday and today with Dr. Jones as well as Julie, our consultant. By April the 12th, leaders roll out results to the team. So by April the 12th, all the results of the survey is going to be rolled out to you guys in whatever format that your leader decide to roll it out in. We're going to leave that autonomy up to them. But everyone's going to be aware of the results of the survey as pertaining to your unit. Okay? By May the 3rd, we need complete action plan. So we have rolled out the survey results. You guys have talked about it, maybe in multiple consequential meetings. You have talked about it. But by May the 3rd, we need a complete action plan on what your unit is going to do to improve on the things that you guys say need to improve from the college perspective or your unit perspective, right? And I'm going to get those plans. I'm going to be able to measure the success of my direct report, which is my vice chancellor. They're going to be able to measure their direct reports to make sure these things are rolling in the way it should be of what we said we were going to do. So I don't want any ambiguity. Around May the 12th, all the results are going to be rolled out to the team. And by May the 3rd, you're going to have a complete action plan about your unit, or things that you want to improve in your unit, or things that you see we need to improve across this college. This is going to be your time to be active in some of the things as it pertains to your unit and the college for making decisions how we go forward to make this the best place to work and learn.